My ex and I divorced about 15 years ago, and we have shared custody of our daughter. In the divorce, she wanted our house, but I fought hard against it because it's been my family home for 3 generations before I inherited it. In the end, we came to a compromise, signed off by the judge. Basically, she gets to live in the house rent-free until our daughter turns 18, then I get it back. I had to pay utilities, maintenance, and property taxes the entire time. In addition, she can't make any modifications or upgrades to the house without my written permission. She's solely responsible for the cost, and the work has to be performed by an insured and legally licensed professional. I've been sending her move-out notices for months in anticipation of my daughter's 18th birthday, and recently that came to pass. The day after, I showed up at the house with a contractor because I wanted some work done before I moved back in. At first, she refused to let me in until I reminded her that I'm the legal owner of the house. According to the divorce agreement signed by the judge, she's no longer allowed to be there, and I'll call the police if she doesn't let me in. She got the point and opened the door. I was surprised nothing was packed, and it didn't seem like she was moving at all. We were arguing as I walked through and inspected my house. She wanted extra time, and I told her to be out by the end of the week, or I'll have her stuff thrown out. When I walked into the living room, I was shocked into silence. The living room is expanded by a wall being torn down and the bedroom that was once merged into it. She turned my 4-bedroom house into a 3-bedroom one. I didn't sign off on this, and from the looks of it, the work was probably done by her boyfriend and not a professional. I yelled at her and told her I was going to sue her for everything she has. Then I left. She went crying to our daughter and my family. Now everyone's telling me to give her another month to find a place and not to sue her. My daughter is firmly on her mother's side and thinks I'm the idiot for kicking her mother out a couple of weeks before Christmas and suing her. This is why I'm here. I think I'm right, and legally I am right, but my daughter's opinion of me matters to me. Am I the idiot? Edit. I inherited the house during our marriage, and since we were still in the honeymoon phase, I placed her name on the deed. After that, I remortgaged the house twice, once to get a better rate, and once for the money we needed. All of this led to my attorney advising me to compromise. He said there was a real risk of losing the house, so I compromised. 15 years with no rent? 15 years with no rent. Can you imagine what your life could be if you hadn't had to pay 15 years of rent while raising a child? That's $180,000 if we're talking $1,000 a month. And I'm not saying life with the kid after the divorce was all sunshine and roses, but 15 years without rent is a shot at generational wealth. And all she did was break the darn house? And what does the daughter think? She's 18 and can do all the same math. And it sounds like she had a live-in boyfriend in the house. Like, what the heck? They haven't had rent or utilities for 15 years. Where did their money go? I would honestly have a police escort her and all her crap out the property. Have her arrested for trespassing if she steps foot on the property again, and sue her for everything you possibly can. OP needs a lawyer though. There are lots of laws around tenancy that have to be carefully followed, so this is 100% legal because it will end in court. And of course, not the idiot. This woman has known the date of their daughter's birthday was the end of her residency for a decade. She's had 15 years to prepare. If she couldn't, then an extra month won't help. Call the police, show the divorce order, and have her removed forcibly. Geez, the rules for this arrangement could not be more clear. I don't know where you live and the worth of your house, but where I live, there's a huge difference between a 3-bedroom house and a 4-bedroom one. Your ex's actions cause you to lose tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. Let's not even talk about how the removal of a wall can actually cause structural problems. I'd get a structural engineering inspection on the entire property to ensure the lawsuit includes everything. My 56 male, youngest son Tanner, 19, as far as I knew, was gay. He'd only ever talked to his older brothers and me about crushes on boys as early as middle school. He only had boyfriends throughout middle and high school, and his first relationship in college was with a guy. Over the weekend, Tanner came home with a girl, Natasha, 20. He introduced her as his girlfriend, Natasha, and we were a little confused. We just kind of went with it. I just thought he meant girlfriend in a friendly way, though in hindsight, Tanner's never really been feminine, so I just kind of chalked it up to him discovering himself more at college. At dinner Saturday night, I asked about how his apparent ex, Corbin, was doing and if they had moved in yet, not realizing yet that they clearly broke up. My other boys apparently got it already and started snickering, and Natasha looked confused while Tanner got mad. I finally noticed Tanner getting upset and asked what was wrong, and he yelled at me about how he introduced Natasha as his girlfriend when they got there, and I had an oh crap moment. I tried talking to him Sunday before they left, and I tried to explain that I hadn't realized, and he got mad and told me again that he had literally introduced her as his girlfriend. I told him I thought he was gay, and he got mad and said he was bi, and never explicitly said he only likes guys. Am I the idiot? Come on, like even if rainbows are shining out your butt and you've got your PhD in gay, your previously only interested in boys' son brings home a girlfriend with no further commentary. What do? Is it heteronormative to assume he means it in the romantic sense, or biphobic to assume he doesn't? Gay stuff is complicated, and the only way to get through it is with a lot of love, which Dad has in confused spades. It'll take one conversation and be completely fine. Go forth, Pride Father, and openly communicate with your son. Agree. This is seriously going to be hilarious down the road. You're not the idiot. It was a misunderstanding, not something you did to be malicious. Your son can't expect you to know what he doesn't tell you, and you can only base your knowledge on the things you know. So I suggest talking to him about the situation and making sure he knows that you didn't mean to upset him or anything. You were just going with what you knew. Boy, I would have loved to see the look on OP's face when it clicked. Girlfriend can sometimes, especially by gay men, be used as a term for friend. I hope this girlfriend didn't find out about your son's, her new boyfriend's, orientation at this time. Not that it matters to most people, but some people might be shocked to find out their partner isn't straight. This is just a misunderstanding. Talk to your son and Natasha when things cool down. I do sympathize with my sister. I love her very much, but she has made some very poor, in my opinion, decisions. I, female 33, am 6 years older than my sister. She's a brilliant and talented musician. I can't praise her skill enough. Truthfully, I'm somewhat jealous of it. I didn't get that. There were 4 kids in my family. My 2 older brothers, myself, and my sister. My brothers are much older than us. They love us, but they're more like young uncles to us. The younger one was in university when my sister was born. My parents had money set aside for us that our grandparents saved for us. Our parents invested the money and contributed to it. They weren't horrible people, so they didn't take it for themselves or hold it over us to control us. When we graduated from high school, we were told there was money for us. We could use it for school or investment or whatever. It was ours. The only stipulation was that we would get it in yearly installments for 6 years. I guess that way we wouldn't blow it all and have a chance to grow up before it was gone. I got some financial assistance for my education, so I actually managed to save almost half of mine. Enough of a sizable down payment on a house when I was 24. That was the year my sister graduated. She decided to go see the world. She traveled through Europe and Australia. She went snowboarding in New Zealand and Argentina. I told her that she should save some for school. She said that she was making money busking and that she was okay. Then the global issue happened. I thought that maybe she would come home and study while the world was shut down. Nope. She stayed in Indonesia because it was cheap to live there. Well, now she's home. She's down to her last installment. My parents signed over the account to her with all the money that was left. It's enough to get her back to Indonesia, but now she's looking at the account and realizing she's at the end. There's no more coming. She asked me out for coffee and was crying because she might have to use the money to pay for an apartment and then figure out what to do. She wants to go teach English as a second language in Asia, and while you can do that with certification, you won't get paid very much. You need a proper degree for some of the well-paying positions. I didn't say I told you so, but she could guess what I was thinking. She says I'm an idiot for judging her choices and not supporting her lifestyle. I wish I had traveled more when I was younger, but I got an education instead. So did our brothers. She chose to use her money that way. I feel bad for her, but I told her it wasn't a great choice. Not the idiot, not supporting her lifestyle. Huh? She says support but means subsidize. She wants you to give her money so she can continue pretending to live a life she can't afford. She made her choices and now has to deal with the results. Not your problem. You are the idiot. I'm tired of this crap that everyone should be completely selfish and generally doesn't owe anyone anything. While that's technically true, go live in a cave then. Because if you live in a real society, you help people and they help you. If not financially, emotionally, with kind words, trying to help them find a job, referencing them, etc. I understand a lot of you have been screwed over, but wow, a little empathy and compassion doesn't hurt that much. How much do kind words help though? Realistically, her choices were lazy, entitled, and stupid. Her financial support and musical talent were incredible assets, and she squandered both. She knew how much she was getting in each installment, the cutoff date, and busking was not covering her expenses. OP tried to do the actual kind thing and get us to see reason and plan ahead, but she wouldn't listen. Not the idiot, OP. You did your best when it counted. Unfortunately, your sister's free ride is over. That's all. Months ago, my coworker Debbie used me to get a raise. I was initially happy for her, but she cannot complete her work independently and goes to me for help every day. For months I've been explaining the same concepts again. I'm irritated that she used me, but could not pull her weight. Debbie tries to offload her work onto the other coworkers and me because she's so busy despite having the least amount of work on the team. Debbie also deletes important emails from clients. I don't even know what to say about that. Debbie doesn't believe she's being compensated fairly for the amount of work she does, so she started looking elsewhere months ago. I've been overworked for so long, and I can't handle this anymore. I regularly work long overtime hours to ensure deadlines are met because I'm assigned more essential duties. Now I feel like I've been babysitting Debbie's work. In addition, I've been getting physically sick from working here. I thought I could just suck it up and told myself things would get better. But 2 weeks ago, something just hit, and I started applying. I quickly found a new place and will leave in 2 weeks from Friday. When Debbie found out on Friday, she was furious. She told me she felt blindsided that I was leaving. She tried to convince me to stay a bit longer, saying my departure would cause her and the team much hardship. When I refused, Debbie asked where I was going. She told me that she's been looking for months but couldn't find anything. She asked if I could help her find a new place since I found one so quickly, but I didn't answer. I just wanted to lay low for the remaining days. On Friday, I finally left after regular hours, but Debbie tried reaching out to me for an emergency. Her past emergencies were situations I've taught her before, so I suspected this was no different. Then Debbie started calling and texting my personal cell, but I've been ignoring her. Finally, she texted me that I shouldn't be so selfish now that I'm leaving, and I shouldn't leave her and the team high and dry halfway through my work. Debbie has also been calling and texting, asking if we could talk about getting her a new position. I've been ignoring that too. Part of me feels bad for Debbie because she's not happy here, and my departure will cause her hardship. The team cannot function without me, as I was the top performer, but I'm so burnt out that I don't even want to work for the last 2 weeks. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Stop feeling bad. New employees are given a pass for so long, but eventually, you have to be able to pull your own weight. Debbie can't, but you've been pulling her weight for so long that she's probably freaking out. So I would tell her the truth. You are not her babysitter. She gets paid more than she deserves for the work she does already, and she's a grown adult. So if she can't get her own new job, it's not your responsibility to find her a job. Agreed. No wonder new people don't like me at work. I don't sugarcoat things. OP, please don't tell her where you'll be working. What if she follows you and continues this madness? Ugh, I can't stand lazy mooch coworkers. She's a leech. Maintain those boundaries as you finish out your time. Set the new expectation and be concise and clear. Debbie, I'm not available to assist you. Debbie will depend on you or anyone who will take her on in any job. People like that are not happy anywhere. So please continue to ignore her or block her. You are not her ticket to something bigger and better. This is harassment. I've been dating a guy for a few months now. He's kind, caring, and funny. A little eccentric, but nothing about him has ever seemed off. The other day we were talking about something we wanted to buy together, so he opened up his phone to the AliExpress app. When he clicked the search bar, I saw the search history had multiple variations of hidden spy camera, secret camera, and Wi-Fi camera. When I saw this, I wanted to double check, so I took his phone and typed the first few letters into the search bar, and sure enough, the variations dropped down from the search bar in bold. At first he pretended not to know what I was talking about. Then he said, "It came up as a suggestion because you typed the first few letters in." I was calm but just kept telling him that that wasn't true. Then he told me he and his friend had been talking about how she recently stayed at a hotel where she suspected there were hidden cameras, so they decided to research them together to see what they looked like. This also sounded like BS to me, and at this point I was kind of freaking out. I had never seen him so annoyed before, but he was in disbelief that I thought he'd really be the kind of person to buy hidden cameras. He said, "Okay then, I'll call my friend right now and she'll tell you it's true." And I stayed silent. Then he said, "Search my whole room. There are no cameras." Then he texted his friends to prove to me the conversation they had was real. The text said something like, "Hey, remember when we were researching spy cams together? Well, my partner saw it and they think I have hidden cameras. Can you reply so I can prove we talked about them together and that I don't have any cameras?" He said he felt embarrassed that he had to send a text like that to his friend. I felt like texting his friend kind of proves his story, because otherwise he'd be outing himself as a total creep to her too, and I feel bad for jumping to a conclusion and accusing him. It's been a few days and I think I believe him, but things are still kind of tense between us. I don't think he forgives me. Am I the idiot for jumping to that conclusion? Or is it a rational reaction? Not the idiot. His text was telling his friend what to say. It was super specific and basically spoon-fed the info for them to confirm. What looks like a duck, walks like a duck, and quacks like a duck is often a duck. Don't ignore your gut. Marinara flags all over the place here. Yep, his behavior is way suspect. See how his story changes twice when you didn't believe the first one? Why lie at first if you don't feel caught and don't have something to hide? Why not come out with the, "Oh, I was just curious what they look like," line first? I can't say for sure that this is what's going on, but I don't trust him.